G'day ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me on my journey into the ecological dynamics and constraints-led approach to and for grappling. My name's Sam Fields. I am looking to take you through the first kind of games that I've put together for takedowns for this particular takedown this week. This particular class this week. One thing that I've spoken about a little bit is that my teaching kind of has evolved, or my preparation for lessons has kind of evolved a little bit. I'm pretty happy with it, in that I get kind of a general idea of what I'm hoping to do the next day, what I'm looking to achieve. I get a general idea sort of in the evening when I'm, rather than trying to get to the actual preparation and planning. I'll have an idea, go to sleep, tend to wake up a bit earlier these days, and the first thing I'm thinking of is, okay, let's get started. So I go and get myself all fueled up and get to the gym and sit down and then write out a plan. So today's plan, there's a couple of things to it, but again, I realised that I recorded the entire session, and hence why it's this kind of odd angle and all that. It was really impromptu, out of straight away. Anyway, don't worry about it. So what I wanted to do today really was sort of combine everything, and I was hoping that that the guys who have been here all week were in, but unfortunately that didn't turn out to be the case. So I had to modify it slightly, but only slightly. When I say modified slightly, honestly, I'm talking I just explained at the end that the person who came in, his name's Paul, he wasn't in all week, that he shouldn't feel bad that certain things were happening because some of these guys were doing it already. But what I was looking to do is combine all the connections that we'd made throughout the week. So connecting around the hips, either from the back, front or side, connecting to the back of the shoulder, and connecting on the back in a snap down situation. So what you'll see here, I'll take you through basically 3 different games. One of them, I don't know what happened, because it's a 30 odd minute long clip. And because I didn't sort of say, okay, we're going to do this one game and then be very specific, which again, this is going to be me making this channel better by attempting, I suppose, to get better myself at recording this stuff. So instead of recording the entire session, I'm going to record just when I am describing the game and the task and the task's focus. The reason why is because things can kind of get lost in the entire lesson. So someone, for example, someone asks a question, you've answered, or you sort of start discussing how you can find that, and then you stand up and then you talk about the task's focus, but not in the context. And anyway, don't worry about it. So basically today we did this. So I'll go from here. Let me talk.
Pummeling, so we're not doing the dead, we're trying to get the underhook. So ready, let's go. 2 underhooks.
Really simple. It's wrestling pummeling. Everyone knows it. who's been doing grappling, you know, the thing about pummeling is, you know, the goal is to get the double underhook so that you can get further down and connect to the hips. So this was our warm up, right? So we get in there, we're getting everything warm. I mean, I did mention that everyone should do a little bit of a warm up beforehand, any kind of personal things that you need to fix. But yeah, ultimately this was kind of our warm up, where we're just going for those underhooks. All right, so I'll let me take it away.
Similar to that one, we're going to start in collar tie. So hand on the back of the neck. Yeah, right. Now one person only is trying to get two things. So the first one is form, what we were doing just there. I don't care if you get hand in, if you've got hands around their hips. Alright? So clasp around the hips, or his head on your sternum, and your chest on the abdominal. Right? So you can get this.
Right. So the task was either get to grips around the hips, so a clasped grip. I didn't want to see like, yeah, I've kind of made it, you know, clasp grip around the hips, or chest on their back, right? And the final game.
Starting with the collar tie, goals are, so boom, you can get to anywhere, even if it's around the back, boom, or as you did around the front. Alright, next one is bang, breaking down his chest, my chest somewhere on this top of his back, and a connection on the arm. I'm not really too concerned, just as long as you have this arm wrapped up in some manner, or this shoulder, okay? And the third one is arm, if I can get to the, yeah, so just chest, back and shoulder. Alright? Final game, let's do it.
So they're the three games. I'm pretty sure that there's a fourth one in there, but there was a fourth one. So there was, where is it? It was, there was four. So so there was pummeling for the two underhooks. There was a collar tie to snap down, chest on back, or with the head and arm, or the hands are connected, whereas the person who had the other person was trying to defend, and just defend, so just stop them, and what the person defending, like the emergent behaviour from that was they're always trying to swim in for that inside space to stop him from getting around and into it. And then the third game was basically that they both had the same objective, and then the fourth game was including the arm drag from earlier on in the week. So hopefully that kind of brought some stuff back. But to be honest, like I think if I was going to be critical of the game, of the games that I created, I think maybe bringing the arm drag one in. I think that was just a vanity thing, because I've kind of not unlocked the secret sort of thing, but I feel more comfortable with an arm drag now. I feel like there's something there, rather than where before I would just be like reaching for it and then not getting it, the person rip out. Whereas now I'm like, I know that I'm dangerous with it. So maybe that was kind of a vanity project, but you know, I've got to say it again, like from the perspective of someone who's been doing like, you know, years and years and years of this method of training, this method is giving me so much more confidence that I can actually pull off a whole heap of these techniques, because I'm not worried about I haven't got like all these details of something that I'm 15-20 steps away. I've got tasks ahead of me, which are to close distance, get connection, you know, immobilize that connection so that they can't attack me, get their hips, immobilize their hips, you know, or nullify their hips through way of a snap down, you know, so nullify them getting distance between their hips, that all that sort of stuff. Like, whereas before it was like, okay, I've got to get my hip in place, and I've got to do this, and none of that made it, like none of that was something that, like, it wasn't the reality of what a stand-up grappling match would be. So you, as in a stand-up grappling match, you're already thinking 15 steps down the track, and you've not dealt with any of the 15 in the past. Like, yeah, it's just wild. I can't. I'm just excited, and I think that's where I'm sort of mind blanking. But yeah, I would say that I have learnt more about timing, feel, all that sort of thing, purely through doing this. It's not even situational sparring. Like, I always felt good when I did situational sparring, but you know, Alex used to call it randori, incorrectly, I might add. Randori is just like free practice, but he would sort of say, oh yeah, no, but one person is putting in a little bit of resistance, but yeah, anyway, I never really got that again, because it still felt like a little bit of dead practice, whereas this, like, I can get to hands clasped around hips, and you know, or you know, the snap down, or the you know, got the back, or whatever the case may be, and there are any number of things that can be done, and it's kind of obvious by the time you get there. Like, you know, we're worried about these detailed steps, but in reality, when you've got someone's hips, just take them down. Like, I don't see why you'd need someone to really, well, sorry, that's a lie. Yeah, the emergent behaviour from that is what people are calling techniques, and in reality it's just finding the most efficient way to take someone down using your body type. It's crazy. Like, if I look at someone like Aaron, or particularly Jaden, like, because Jaden's, you know, he's a good sort of half a head taller than me. In order for him to do certain things, he's got to like really drop his level change, whereas, you know, someone like Ridwan won't have to do that level change at all. He's already there, so he's going to execute some of these things with ease compared to Jaden. But then again, Jaden's going to have you know, a snap down ability much better than Ridwan would be, you know, because he's already above and he just needs to get sort of his weight over it. So it's the self-organisation that is the key. And once you get to these, essentially this approach gets you to the platform from which you should be executing your attacks. So up until you get to the platform theory, booyah! Platform theory that I came up with years ago. It works with this so well because you like. Whereas before we were teaching the two steps up to platform, and then the 15 steps, or the 2 steps up to the platform, and then the and one of those was a contrived if this then that situation. So it's like, if they do this, you do this, and then it gets you to the platform, from which you then execute snap, crackle, pop, right? With this, it's like, here's an array of possibilities that can funnel you to these three or four platforms, from which are your best opportunities to execute whatever you need to do. So let's get these. Let's look at this sphere and of opportunity. Figure out what works for you to get to those platforms. Yeah, it's really cool. Anyway, this is Sam Fields. Thank you very much for joining me on the ecological approach, the ecological dynamics and constraints-led approach to grappling. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Let me know if this is any good in the comments. Cheers. Bye.